hypothesized that at some point in the year 1900, the creature known as Mark Zuckerberg was spawned. The most likely point of origin for Zuckerberg is in the sewer system under the city of Vienna. Not much is known of the early life of Zuckerberg, but he was nonetheless present in the city of Vienna and its neighboring regions. His presence was still felt locally, however, as numerous dogs and cats and small children had been going missing, which could be attributed to Zuckerberg because a creature such as himself requires sustenance. Zuckerberg truly came into exerting his insidious will in the year 1915, as at that time the tensions in Europe had exploded into the First World War. Zuckerberg was quick to join the Austrian military to satisfy his lust for blood. Many accounts from those who fought alongside him described him as off-putting and strange. Nonetheless, Zuckerberg was a fearless soldier. His ruthlessness and seeming disregard for his own life earned him many medals. Majority of Zuckerberg's deployment was spent in the Eastern Front, where Zuckerberg and his battalion were sent to Galicia to defend against the Russian offensive. After many years of fighting on the Eastern Front, the Russian Empire finally collapsed into civil war, leading to the Brest-Litovsk Treaty being signed. Zuckerberg was reassigned to the Alps, where he suffered a serious injury but he was unable to recover from until the end of the war. Seemingly unsatisfied, Zuckerberg left Vienna to Munich, where he became a homeless beggar. Coincidentally, as he moved Munich, there was a spike in reports of small children and pets going missing. There is not a lot of information about Zuckerberg in the years after the war, but Zuckerberg did resurface, with him being cited alongside founding members of the German Nationalist Party, the NSDAP. In the early 1930s, Mark Zuckerberg was seemingly collaborating heavily with the NSDAP and their operations. Strangely, Zuckerberg would once again disappear through the years of 1934 to 1938. Zuckerberg's disappearance would not last forever, as documents suggest he signed up to the German military in 1939, a mere 2 weeks before World War II. Zuckerberg's military records have been lost to time. However, photographs and first-hand accounts from German soldiers suggested he was active in the North African campaign in 1941. During the war, sightings had been found of Zuckerberg all over Europe, with Zuckerberg participating in Operation Barbarossa and the invasion of Yugoslavia and the Battle of Crete. Sightings of Zuckerberg on the front lines dissipated around December 1942, with Zuckerberg seemingly taking more interest in internal matters. In 1943, there are conflicting reports of Zuckerberg's activities. Sightings and military reports say Zuckerberg was in Croatia helping with anti-partisan operations, but evidence has surfaced that suggests Zuckerberg was actually in Poland assisting the German SS with internal matters. As the tides were turning and Germany and its allies were facing imminent defeat, Zuckerberg's sightings became more sparse, as Zuckerberg's activities during the downfall of the Axis are unknown. Zuckerberg would seemingly go into hiding for decades after the war. But if there is one consistent thing about Zuckerberg, it is that he cannot resist taking the lives of others. So it would seem Zuckerberg's activities from now on would be covert but nonetheless destructive. His first major intervention would come during the Vietnam War, as reportedly Zuckerberg would involve himself with the North Vietnamese government by flooding them with weapons and equipment to counter the American army. After finding success in his first international intervention, Zuckerberg seemingly started to be more covert with his quest of death. Over the span of the Cold War, Zuckerberg would subtly influence and escalate the Cold War as much as possible, with devastating effect. Zuckerberg's lust for blood would ravage communities, nations, whole regions and continents. Even to this day, Zuckerberg is still at large. With each passing year, his power and influence continues to grow. Now you know the true story of Mark Zuckerberg and his unknowable number of war crimes, lives he has destroyed, international crises caused by his actions, and how undoubtedly he